We are back with the Buffalonian Podcast. I'm Joe Cali. As always, I'm joined by none other than Dom Loss. And Dom, we do have a Bills win to speak of today. Not another loss, no pun intended. 31-point victory over the Carolina Panthers, 40-9. The defense looked great. The running game looked great. And that's where I'll leave it for now. But we have a lot to get to today. So much to get to. So little time. I just don't know what to think about this game. I am ecstatic on one hand. They put up 40 points and they held the opposing team to 9. But I'm also a little polarized at what the offense exactly looked like. And I'm sure we're going to get into it with the Dom 5, other things throughout the day. So I'm not going to harp on it right off the bat. But do you have anything off rip you want to say about this game before we dive into the nitty gritty, if you will? A base reaction.
Well, I think my take of that the Bills are gonna kind of have a just-like win and Josh is gonna throw for 200 yards was kind of hit.
Kind of hit.
Andy Dalton did absolutely screw me on my 13-10
it was
halftime. It was there for the taking. Like, Matt Prater could have made that PAT, made it 13-3, and if he doesn't throw that interception to Panessa, and they would have drove down and actually scored, not took a sack.
Yeah.
Could have been 13. I'm saying there were scenarios where it could have been 13-10.
He took a sack like a rookie quarterback going towards the 2 minutes. Like, what inside 2 minutes? What's going on? But
I will say this, and I guess outside of the down 5, like, this is what I'll say, right, is do you think the Bills improved?
No. But defensively, yes. Like, partially. So I guess yes.
You don't think the Bills got better from what they were before the bye?
I mean, it was offensively more of the same.
They had 400 yards. Like, this is what I'll say, is that I think, well, there are things to talk about and there are things to critique. I think living in this world where that we are micro analyzing everything that happens, I think kills the enjoyment of the game. Right? Because all I'm seeing on social media is kind of like similar to your reaction of, oh, they didn't really improve that much offensively. Right? And all I'm seeing on social media is how, since they continue to lose the Chiefs in the playoffs, this game coming up doesn't matter because even if they win, it won't change it. Like, it's like,
I don't think that.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you do, but I'm saying like, I've seen that around, and I'm like, guys, like, I don't know. This is getting a little. I'm gonna say this right now. My take coming out of this week is this is getting a little 2022 Bills for me.
Yeah, is it?
Getting a little 2022 Bills for me. Like, didn't me after they lost that, the game to Cincinnati, we're like, wow, this is really not a fun year to be a Bills fan.
No.
And it's weird because they won and all that. And I think some of it is like, I don't know. Yeah, there are problems with the team. Mm-hmm. Look around the league. There's no team that's perfect.
Well, absolutely.
And if you're going to tell me after a 40-9 win, the biggest problem you have is Josh Allen, the passing offense, when you have an elite quarterback, I think I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. And it is finding an issue, but it is an issue that I foresee stopping them from potentially being a Super Bowl team. That everyone's pointing towards the Khalil Shakir pass. That was a 5-yard pass. He took exactly, to the house.
But they're not playing.
There's no downfield passing.
They're not playing the Super Bowl on October 29th tomorrow.
I never said they are.
I'm not saying they are.
Down the road, if this continues, if they don't make a move for a separator, if they don't change something scheme wise, I do think it could have implications for them going.
But I guess my thing is this: do you think they're just going to go backwards? Like, do you think this is what they're going to be? They're not going to improve? Like, I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either. I'm just saying.
So that's my point.
If they continue on this trajectory, and if they don't add something, if they don't change something, listen, running James Cook, I love that we have a running back. Him being signed is the best thing they could have done this offseason. I truly think so. Because in games like this, 19 carries, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, 121 plus rushing yards over expected. You can't ask for a better performance than that. And I'm not saying the offense as a whole did a poor job. It's just, and it's not like Josh Allen doesn't have time. The offensive line's been okay. It's the lack of separation and teams being able to sell out against the run.
I don't think the problem was, I don't think the problem was on Sunday the lack of separation. I don't believe that. I think the problem on Sunday is Josh, he mentioned it a bunch in his press conference, his trust in the offense. Right, he wasn't trusting what he was seeing. He wasn't trusting speed. I think there was plays to be made. I just simply don't think Josh played well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, listen, Carolina, any team you play is going to have downs that they just simply win, right? They have the perfect coverage, right? But I think we saw in this game, like, was Josh pressing a little bit? I would say so. Like, I think Josh was coming out of the bye, a little sugar high Josh, right? And I think he was forcing it a little bit. So, yes, do I think there is things to talk about and they need to improve the passing offense to win the Super Bowl? Sure.
The head coach even acknowledged it.
I'm not going to say they don't. Like, that would be a complete lie. However, I don't think that should be. I just disagree with the fact that that's the headline after this game. And that's why I said when all the talk was like, oh, the Bills not only have to win this game, right, they have to cover the game, right? That was a take that was out there. It's like, well, the Bills not only covered the game, they kicked the absolute crap out of them.
They did.
Where they were up, 40-3 at the end of 3 quarters?
Yeah, and then Allen effectively sat the entire fourth.
Exactly. So it's like, if that's not good enough, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I just think as fans, like, we are so drowned in the own failures of teams past, the own tough losses in the playoffs, that now, like, it's just like, oh, the regular season doesn't matter and we can't enjoy these wins because, oh man, they had a facet of their game that's not looking right and that's going to cost them in the Super Bowl to win the Super Bowl. And you might be right. I'm not saying, I don't think people are wrong to say that yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, if they play like that passing offense, if Josh plays like that, right?
Yeah. Maybe even against Kansas City this week.
Maybe they're a collection of talent. Sure. I don't think they could. I'm not going to pretend to think they can win the Super Bowl like that. However, I just think that's like, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna. I just feel like if you're gonna consume the games like that, you're just finding something to be upset about a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it would be finding something if it wasn't like blatant that it was and has been an issue this past season. I mean, the one I'm like, I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm happy they won. Don't get me wrong. They're Kansas City now. Like, you have a big game coming up. I do have confidence they're going to be able to win that game. I just look at what we saw, and it's not necessarily the headline, because I guess in my brain, I'll just lay this out for you. It's a scary place to be, but I'm going to lay it out for you. The headline was, 40-9. They won by 31 points. James Cook had a hell of a weekend. 2 days later is where I'm kind of rewatching the game, watching the film, watching, the little dots, those little dot things. I don't even know what to exactly call them, but they show the routes. And they're like the little dots. Keon Coleman looked like he had a freaking backpack on the entire
He's never
game.
supposed to be open on that route.
I'm just
like the one, I know what you're talking that route. He's just not Stephon Diggs. He's not going to be open on a backside dig to J.C. Horn.
And seeing him as the punt return, it was just weird. I don't know. Like, there were just some things that, rewatching it, watching all this stuff, it's kind of, I'm all for celebrating a win. And I do. I was ecstatic when they won. But where your goal is to win a Super Bowl, watching that, and like you said, the Super Bowl is not October 26th, and I 100% agree with you. But watching that product from 3 weeks ago being, this one seed, undefeated into the bye, to where we're at now, feels like, I don't know, like that's a wild card offense against a better defense. You know what I'm saying? Like what we saw. That's at least where my head's gone in 2 days. I'm not trying to be that way, but
my thing is this too, was like, if you rewatched the game and looked at the game and you looked at the film, you would say to yourself, yeah, Josh didn't trust what was happening.
No, it looks like he did when Ken Dorsey was the offensive coordinator. Like when you mentioned back to that season, before Dorsey got Ken, Allen did not look confident in the offense at all.
I would agree with that. But I think this is I think the difference is from 2022 and this year is that I think 2022 was he didn't trust the scheme and that.
What do you think?
Josh has way more pull in the scheme.
Well, with Brady sure.
than I think he had with Dorsey. I don't know if he trusts the players, and that I think is a reasonable thing to say after the game. Is the passing offense just looked out of sorts, and you could say,
outside from Khalil Shakir,
and you can't. I don't think you could be like, oh, the wide receiver, like people that say that the wide receivers weren't separating. I think that's like a generic take. Like, that's not like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, I'm not going to pretend they have elite separators. I think the take should be coming out of the game is that it just looks a little dysfunctional. Josh is bailing out of clean pockets to take 20-yard sacks when he should just throw the ball away. And people are going to be like, oh, no one's open on the play. Fine. But Josh has developed to be such a smart quarterback, right? Where, yeah, he'll extend the play, and even if it's like good coverage and the play doesn't work, he'll try and make something happen. But then he'll throw the ball away or do something, not take a 20-yard sack.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is a guy that's pressing.
Yeah.
So like to me, I think that's the question that has to be talked about in the Bills organization is how I believe that Josh is not going to be that Josh the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And listen, if he is, and if we're going into the playoffs and he's like that, then yeah, you could bring it up and like they don't have a chance of winning the Super Bowl. I just think that won't be the case. I just think it's like, what do you have to do to help Josh have more confidence in playing the quarterback position at the moment? And I do think, yes, that's a move at receiver. I think they do have to make a trade at receiver, and then you get Josh Palmer back.
100%. Palmer, as soon as the exit happened, that injury, that offense completely lost its legs.
I just disagree with, we see James Cook go for 216 yards pretty much in 3 quarters, right? Dude played 28 snaps and had 200 yards of offense, over 200 yards of offense. We see a dominant running game against a team that, say what you want, like they were one of the highest ranked rush defenses in the NFL. It was strength on strength, very similar to the Patriots, right? And you saw them absolutely put it to them. And then you see all these new pieces defensively. And yeah, sure. Am I going to pretend they played an elite offense? No. But I think you saw a defense that's different.
It had legs.
You saw a different defense coming out of the bye.
You saw the safety position look more secure between the two of Poyer and Hancock. And I'm sure that's the stuff in your Dom 5, but there are definitely upsides. I guess what I was just looking at the longevity of it. The change has to come for the passing part of the offense, because I have no question that the running offense is going to be able to do whatever they want to do with teams. But if a team does sell out and stop the run, the dink and dunk might not work. You might need a guy to elevate. And I think that's what they're going to do. I do think they're shopping for a wide receiver. They have 7 days, right? 7 days, I think.
Something like that.
7, 8 days.
I think 7 days
till the trade deadline. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually make a move or not. But yeah, it's kind of a discussion on what what is thought after this game. But yeah. I'm kind of in the middle of the two, if I could possibly be.
I'm like 25%. Like, I understand the issue,
and I think it might just be because I'm stuck in the middle of it 5 days a week, like hearing about it. I don't know.
I think it's this. I think Josh Allen is the most beloved athlete, at least in our lifetime. I won't go as far back. And everybody wants him to have these 300-yard passing games.
Right, the Superman performances.
Because everyone, as a Bills fan, inherently biased, wants him to win MVPs. And people see when he throws for 160 yards, it's not looking 100% right. It's like, oh, he's not going to win the Pro Bowl now. Look at Drake May, look at Herbert, look at Mahomes. He's not going to be a top 3 quarterback, so he's not going to make the Pro Bowl now. Like, all the accolades. I just think every once in a while as fans, and I'm guilty of it too, like we were really, I mean, heck, I'll say this right now, Sabres, when they were 03, we were like doom and gloom. Now they deserve it.
Over.
Now they a little bit deserve because what they put us through. But like this team, I just think for whatever reason, I feel like I'm confused by the lack of a somewhat benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, there is I would say a little bit of that. I think it's
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like to me, it's like this team consistently wins after the bye.
Yeah.
Right?
They're 9-0
now. They consistently have these slumps, and then they come back and play good football for whatever reason. And I don't know fully what it is. It's like this year's like different. It's like I don't know if they're gonna come on and play good football. It's weird. It's like I don't like. It's like, oh, maybe they're gonna actually not like. I don't know. I guess maybe to me it's this too. I think we compared this team to the 22 Bills a little bit. I think when you compare this team to the 24 Bills, the last year Bills, and it's a team of very low expectations, kind of like, oh, we can make the wild card. Maybe Josh goes nuclear and we win the Super Bowl.
Well, we talked about that. But the expectations are through the roof now.
But then all of a sudden they win 13 games. Really probably could have won 14 games because they rested their stars in week 18.
They're really 14-3. Yeah.
14 minutes away from going to the Super Bowl. where, I mean, they were probably going to be underdogs against that was a good Eagles team, but like,
you would have been in the game.
You would have been in the game, right? And now it's like, oh, the soft schedule. You start off 4-0, right? You have an awesome win against the Ravens in week 1. And now it's like they stumble a little bit, and it's like, oh, I think they're not on solid ground. Like it's eventually going to fall all the way through. And
I think it might be the threat of New England as well. I think that could be hampering on some minds, because
to me, but like we've had years where
Miami's been close.
Miami should have won the division a couple years ago. Like that's just the fact. Even New England,
fact that the Bills went on that heater at the end, and New England almost did.
New England should have won. Well, I don't know. They should. Well, no, I mean New England blew a game against Indianapolis they should have probably won that year too. So it's like I don't know. This has happened before, and it's just a weird vibe. I don't know if it's just the freaking odd number of years. Like 21 was a weird year. 23 is a weird year. 25 is, I think, now officially become kind of a weird year. So I don't know. I think it's kind of like, I'm not trying to be this like happy-go-lucky guy.
No, you're not hopelessly optimistic.
Like hopelessly optimistic. Yeah. Like I understand there's issues. I also think like we can't celebrate a win. Like we can't celebrate a 31-point win. We have to immediately talk about, the one thing that was like out of the 4, the rush defense, the pass defense, the pass offense, the rush defense, I think you would be really satisfied with 3 of those 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that's getting the most attention is the 4th. And I guess that's what happens when you're a Super Bowl contender.
And also, everything else was so good in that game that the thing that wasn't does stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it wasn't like it. Like to me, like I think it was below average. But if you looked at the numbers, I know the eye test was terrible. But if you looked at the numbers, they weren't that bad. Like to me, it was a below average passing day. Like it wasn't like completely dog. Like they didn't turn the ball over.
No, there was no interceptions.
There was no interceptions. They took. I mean, Dion makes a mental error, it seems, on the 1 sack. Josh holds the ball for too long on the 1 sack.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 50-yard touchdown. They had some nice screen plays. Yeah, the average depth of target. They had a nice play to Kincaid against man. You would have liked.
Jackson Hawes got a couple catches, too.
You would have liked probably, who's his name? Shakir and Moore to kind of like those 2 catches near the sidelines. Like, man, you would have kind of liked him
to get those.
Both those guys to kind of come down with those because those have been nice plays. But I will agree. I think there are things to work on, but I think this is a moment of, guys, we've spent, when's the last time they won a game? I know that's weird to say.
A month ago almost.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think we could take
3 weeks. Yeah.
Take a minute to celebrate because we know next week it's like, we have an awesome game next week, right?
It'll be
national televised, like
4:25 Bills Chiefs, and we'll have all that coverage for you later in the week. But yeah, I'm kind of in between. Like I am one to celebrate a victory, and I think of it as the Bills say every week that they win. It's hard to win in this league because it is. Any given Sunday. Did you see what the Dolphins did to the freaking Falcons yesterday?
Yeah.
And what the Falcons did to the Bills a couple weeks ago, and what the Panthers did to the Falcons earlier this season?
There's no transitive property in football.
It's a week-to-week league. So yeah, celebrate the wins when they come because they are hard to come by. But I think calling into question certain things is valid. The full-on doom and gloom where it's like, oh, we're done. We're a wild card. We're blah, blah, blah.
We're not even halfway through the year.
We're not. We're what, 7 games in?
We got 10 games. We had double-digit games remaining in the regular season.
Double-digit games remaining. So there is a way that things look up. But the only reason I brought any of this up was just because it's what's been going around, and I do sympathize with some of it, but not to the full-on extent of, oh, Joe Brady's got to go, or McDermott's got to go. They all admit in their press conferences that there is something to be figured out.
There's room for improvement.
McDermott said, my concerns are your concerns. My frustrations are your frustrations. My questions are your questions. He is in the same boat. They're trying to figure it out. And guess what? Bean's probably trying to make a move right now before the trade deadline. And it takes time. GMs talk. They all know what each of them need. Okay? They really do. Like a deal is going to get made. I'm confident in that. Just how big of a name is the only question for me. But without further ado, that was a long opening bant. Before we get into the Dom 5, though, got to take a quick time out for our sponsors. We'll be right back with the Dom 5 right after this. we are back with the Buffalonian Podcast. You wanted any discussion on the Bills, Panthers, just kind of emotional reaction, what we thought on the base level, can listen on to that in the first segment if you joined us in the middle for whatever reason. I don't know why you would do that. But Dom is now going to give us the Dom 5. So Dom, without further ado, number 1.
James Cook's Panthers for buffet.
Yeah?
A buffet of Panthers.
Buffet.
Cooked by Mr. James
How would
Cook.
a panther taste is what I want to know.
That is a good question. I was thinking
It's
about
like
that.
eating a cat. I don't like that.
Yeah. I did have guinea pig once. Not good.
What?
Yeah, Peru.
In Peru, okay. In Peru, I guess that makes sense.
It was not good.
I had a guinea pig. I don't know if I like that you ate a guinea pig.
Its eyes, too.
What?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Its eyes.
That's vile. I don't know if I could ever do that. Was that like...
That wasn't a good experience. I'm not going to say it. I mean, it's something to tell. I mean,
You ate an eyeball?
Yeah.
Interesting. Without further ado, though, what do we got here? Trying to get the image of you eating a guinea pig out of the forefront of my mind.
But, James Cook, 19 carries, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, 64-yard rushing touchdown. Greg Olson was talking about, can they live by feeding James Cook? Can they get explosive runs? And then he immediately pops a 64-yard rushing touchdown.
Should be on the number 1 Fox broadcast, by the way.
Greg he was awesome.
He's amazing.
James Cook leading the NFL in rushing yards per game, on pace for another 17 touchdown rushing touchdown season, almost 1,800 yards. Easily the best decision they made in the offseason was paying this man his money.
100%.
Because he's been worth every single penny. 12 times has a Bill rush for over 200 yards. Obviously, half those times are freaking OJ. I think the most recent one was Fred Jackson. Fun fact.
I think so. Freddie.
Mm-hmm. I predicted when we were talking about who was the last one, I thought it would be, my family was saying LaShawn McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I think it's going to be some random person in the 2000s. I went Willis McGahee.
What a 21.
But I was a little off. Fred Jackson. I think Fred Jackson might have done that against the Raiders.
Oh yeah,
when they started off like 3-0 in 2011, and we don't talk about what happened after that. But yeah, I mean, just he's been awesome. And he's been the focal. I mean, he is now officially in my MVP ladder for the Bills, has passed Josh Allen.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else? I think he's been easily the best player now, the most consistent player, and
one of the more integral pieces of the offense as well.
Probably the most. So
this season,
hopeful to get him kind of going in the passing game too. Maybe add a little bit of a development there. But yeah, only 28 snaps. So all those people that talk about us talk about how he goes under. I think he went under 50%. Mm-hmm. I know some of that's garbage time, but. Yeah, he was really efficient.
He barely played the entire fourth.
Good pass defense, rush defense. So credit to the offensive line as well. Number 2, kind of spoke about this earlier, but Allen has trust issues.
Yeah,
and I won't talk too much about the passing offense because we kind of went into.
Yeah, we did. We kind of delved into it a little bit.
My small take is just simply this: I think Josh just has to get right in the head. Mm-hmm. I think Josh is kind of searching for it a little bit. I
wonder if it's like the incels on Twitter saying, like, after Haley Steinfeld said that he's more than a football player, he lost his edge.
That's dumb.
So stupid. Or the commercials, just get whatever.
But whatever, yeah. I just think Josh needs to. I just think they need to settle him down, right? Just take a couple of breaths, play your game. They need to add a weapon. Mm-hmm. They get James Palmer back. That's basically adding 2 weapons.
Yeah.
So I just think he needs to settle down.
Do they activate Gabe Davis?
Maybe. I would say out of a scale of 1 to 10 on the passing offense, I'm probably at like a 5.
Like panic meter?
Mm-hmm. I'm a 5.
5, 6, absolutely.
I'm a 5.
6, 7.
I'm decently concerned. I'm middle of the way. I think I need to see a good performance against the Chiefs because I think they're going to make them throw. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I'm like in between a 5 and a 6, 5.5. Yeah. I'd say that's where I'm at. I like you said, they're probably going to sell out on the run again. Kansas City's going to sell out on the run, and they're going to have to throw.
Yeah.
So.
And they're probably going to put Trent McDuffie on Khalil Shakir in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
And
big Dalton Kincaid, and Dawson Knox has been a Chiefs killer. Maybe we'll talk about might be a hint at what's coming later in the week.
But number 3, the defensive reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah,
Michael Hoyt,
fortunate son with the helicopters flying in, dropping him down. Hell yeah, they've been Michael Hoyt. What a guy.
What a game from Hoyt.
The Canadian crusher he's been branded.
No, that was a good one. 1.5 sacks, a forced fumble. You saw Maxwell Harrison, which was kind of a surprise.
Made a big hit.
Big hit. Love the physicality. Didn't get targeted in coverage. Would like to see more of him. You saw kind of, Obajobi was solid. It's kind of
nothing to write home about, but he did a good job.
He was solid. And it's just, I think this defense, I've at least liked that it's adapted a little bit. We'll see what those changes are, something with a longer sample size they continue to do. It looked like maybe, I'm just speculating here, McDermott calling plays.
Oh, you're not even speculating. He, in the press conference, addressed it and said, yeah, me and Bobby are doing that together. So he's got a hand in that right now. And immediately, it looked a little more aggressive than it has all season.
They played 31% man coverage. That was top 10% of the league.
Yeah.
That was higher than, I think, over 10% higher than their average on the season. Yeah. And I think the addition of Hairston, getting some juice,
the speed and the man coverage,
it's a little bit more risk reward, right? I think that's what you got to learn, right? Like, I think we were all frustrated that they kept doing spot zone coverage and they were just allowing,
right. That was your big thing going into the bye week. You wanted more match and
more man, more just tighter throws, tighter windows. And yeah, that could lead to some frustration. Like, I think we were all a little frustrated when Andy Dalton dimed up Taron Johnson a little bit, who's not having the best year.
Right. High risk, high reward, though,
but at the same time, like, he had to make a really good throw. Credit to him. He made it. Right? Like, I think that's what you have to live with as a Bills fan. Like, yeah, every once in a while, like, when Tim McMillan beat Cole Bishop, or, when you have these guys on linebacker, like,
you're going to give them some. You're going to get theirs.
You're going to lose some matchups doing that. But I think
you have a better reward opportunity, though, when it works out in your favor.
And, I also think it helps. I think it helps this pass rush, which I think is coming along. It sucks to lose that out. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But
yeah, that is a damn shame.
Bosa looked pretty good, other than he just decided to
Greg Russo played like a man on a mission. He had a good game.
All four of the top four edges, I think, had sacks.
Deion Walker
played well. So I think that's the thing. I think playing a little bit more man, playing a little bit more up at the line of scrimmage
helps to marry the coverage in the rush.
Marries the coverage in the rush. Make them have to hold it a little bit, not get it out so quick. So
they were on the outs before, though.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. And then the safety position, Poyer
could have gone worse.
Was solid. He was fine.
Could have been worse.
And Hancock made a touchdown-saving tackle.
I felt more safe with that rotation than I did with Taylor Rapp for most of the beginning of the season. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'll say this. I think it's funny how much a week changes.
Yeah.
Weren't we all like a week ago being like, damn, this draft class, like,
sucked.
I mean,
Jordan Poyer playing meaningful snaps in 2025.
Well, no, I just think the draft class was like, man, this is kind of underwhelming. Like, Haas, he had an awesome game, but like, that's a home run for a 5th round pick to have a guy that's actually a legitimate player who's plays a meaningful role and like
receive as well.
Deion Walker's a star, and it's like, man, those are 2 awesome picks. But after that, it's like, what really? I mean, you like Dorian Strong, but he's injured. TJ Sanders is kind of inconsistent, kind of the standard young defensive tackle, and he's also injured.
Deion Walker's an exception.
Harrison's injured. Like, Landon Jackson kind of playing what we all thought he would be, which is
healthy scratched for most of this.
Which is a 2026 player, right? Yeah. And I think it's interesting how much a week has changed, right? We see Max Harrison. It's like, all right, I like he played well. He was physical, and we saw why he was drafted that high. The juice. He had the juice.
Yeah,
he has real deal speed. And I think, okay, we see a play there, right? We see Deion Walker, get on the pass rush, get a forced fumble, a recovery, right? And then you see Haas have an awesome game. And then you see Hancock now actually being, he played meaningful role. He played and playing the meaningful role, taking Poyer's spot as a safety. Didn't get targeted once. Had the touchdown-saving tackle.
He did.
And it's like, all right, like,
you watch that back and you think,
but you're kind of
Taylor Rapp could have let that go for a tutty.
Probably. You know what you're also like though? It's like, okay, like Dorian Strong, I like as a depth corner, boundary corner. We'll see if he can come back healthy.
Could have another hit on seventh round corner.
TJ Sanders is probably gonna have to be an X factor because of that Oliver thing. But it's like, all right, if he comes back looking healthier, like, I'm excited to see his reps. And it's like Landon Jackson, like, I don't have to worry about Landon Jackson anymore because we have Michael Hoyt, right? We have Epinesa playing well. We have Bosa playing well.
Years, Michael Hoyt too. It's not just a 1-year deal.
We have Greg Rousseau playing well. Like, that's like, okay, honestly, God, they could just let Landon Jackson grow and develop. And it's like, now all of a sudden, again, a week ago, we're like, this draft class is just not what it is. And now it's like, all right, like,
there seemed to have been a vision.
There's a vision, and you kind of can see it now. And it's not, and it still includes not having a lot of pressure from your 2nd and 3rd round picks.
Well, as they say, trust the process.
But yeah,
that's pretty much the Bills.
We've seen, and I thought Cole Bishop played a really solid, just a unspectacular game, which is actually a good game for a safety. Like, I don't need to see you getting
Serviceable.
made a nice play at the goal line to make to tackle the guy short, so Poirier can make the tackle, and made a couple nice tackles from depth. So yeah, I like it. I thought Dorian Williams played a strong game. Interesting to see with Shaq Thompson.
He had a pretty good game too.
He was fine other than the missed tackles. And what happens to Terrell Bernard? I still think you're not going to be happy with this, but I still think he's the Mike linebacker. And I think Shaq Thompson. I still think. I still think it's going to be Bernard Milano.
Yeah,
and is that right?
When Milano's healthy, it'll be interesting to see because that pectoral injury is still sidelining him from the beginning of the season. So
number 4, I'll go a little quicker here. Number 4, drought level special teams from the Sabres for the Bills. Drought level Sabres special teams for the Bills.
Wow. Oh, okay. I was confused for a second.
No, not this year. Special teams with the Sabres have been pretty good.
Yeah, they've been all right.
We all know the struggles that the Sabres have had with their special teams, and the Bills, it's just disappointing. I think that is my number one answer. Is I thought with Tabor coming in, getting rid of Matt Smiley, I just was expecting more. Right? Like, they constantly just. I mean, we have freaking Ty Johnson and Curtis Samuel basically running into each other on the kickoff.
Yeah, I saw that was bad.
Like, I think it's just frustrating. It's like Keon Coleman gets rocked on a punt return. Khalil Shakir doesn't field the punt, which then allows them to get inside. Like, it's just like, I don't know. Like, they don't. Obviously, Prater missing the kick was unfortunate, but I thought Prater has been awesome all year.
He's missed 2 kicks.
Yeah, he's missed 2 kicks. I completely jinxed him because he was actually he was kicking the ball perfectly, like right at like the half-yard line. So he had to return. The kickoff guy had to return. I was like, dude, he's been awesome all day, and he kicks one like just a yard in. I'm like, damn, sorry, brother.
That's tough.
That's on me.
No, but for his age and what you got him for,
he's been awesome. But like Wisnowski, it's like, like I don't know, man. Like that's like the third punter, and it's like these guys all kind of.
Well, you watch Sam Martin punt on the other side of the field.
Exactly.
He had a 50-yard almost. Like just bomb.
So it's kind of like
it was amazing.
It's confusing there. The punting change really hasn't worked out.
No,
and just the lack of some juice with the return, and that was with Codrington in the lineup too. He hasn't. I mean, he's gonna get caught.
No, he's lost all juice that he had for whatever reason. He can't do what he was doing before.
The kickoff return has just been a problem all year. They just cannot get at least to the 30. It feels like it's just a struggle. So. Yeah, I mean that has to improve. I think that is something that is just very frustrating, and maybe that gets changed at the deadline if they get a Rashid Shaheed. Like that kind of could help your return game as well. So it's kind of a multiplier effect.
Rashid Shaheed, is he the baseline of a receiver you go for? Is he kind of like that's a guy?
Yeah,
like a little off topic here, but
he's fine.
Would you want to go above Rashid Shaheed?
Sure.
Is he the floor of what you would want the Bills to get?
This is my thing that frustrates.
I don't want to take it off
spend 2 minutes on this. My frustration is this: when people say that the Bills need to add a wide receiver 1, all I ask is who.
Right? Who are you obtaining for the cap? Within the cap, there's no option.
Who is trading you that?
Someone said George Pickens the other day. I was like, with what?
They're not going to
let George Pickens go.
Well, they're not going to be able to sign him with the money he wants.
No, exactly.
Right. Chris Olave is a nice player, but why would the Saints? Like, I don't understand why the Saints would ever do that. Now they have their rookie quarterback starting. Why would they now trade their best receiver?
Yeah,
that to me doesn't make a lot of sense. BTJ, I think, is like, why would the Jags trade him in the second season? I just don't. That doesn't make any sense to me either. So like. Yeah, you're probably going to get like a rotation. You're probably going to get like a guy who's like a solid player.
Yeah.
And I think they need to add a solid player. But that's what I'm saying when people are like, oh, they need to add a wide receiver 1. It's like, with what money and with what resources and who is the partner?
Yeah.
Like, that to me is what's frustrating. It's like to me, the whole fight that Brandon Beane had when he went on GR.
Yeah.
My whole thing about it was always this. He shouldn't have done it. Yes, I don't think they have easily probably one of the least talented wide receiver rooms. 3, what wide receiver 1 are they going to be able to get and afford? Like that to me has always been and 4, it's not like they haven't spent resources in that room. Like they gave Curtis Samuel quite a bit of money. That hasn't worked out. They drafted Keon Coleman pretty high. They signed Shakir to a $50 million contract extension. So like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like that to me has always been like the frustrating part. It's like I understand people's frustration. I think you can make a case that they just haven't spent the resources well in the receiver room.
They're also not scoring 30 points per game this year. They're averaging 29.5, just to be that guy. But go ahead.
Number 5. Prayers for Brother Ed.
Yeah, seriously.
Brother Ed. I mean, he had an Instagram story of, I think he said that, the guy with the most sacks at the defensive tackle position has 4.5. He had 3 in 2.5 games. I mean, it's just...
Yeah,
it's rough. 7 tackles for loss.
He's been battered in the
season
past
of his
couple
career.
years, and he's been dealing with it, and he finally looks like he's gonna pop this year, and unfortunately, it looks like his bicep did. He's out for a significant amount of time.
Probably the rest of the regular season. Maybe he can come back.
He did post on an Instagram story. I forget the exact wordage of it, but he was pretty much saying he could be back for the big game or something like that. So not great to watch Oliver go out of the game, but more confident in filling his shoes a little bit with the suspension additions for sure. You know what I mean?
No.
Him dropping before those guys, you are in trouble. You're still in trouble.
I guess
they could do a better job now with the depth they have. They have a little more to work with than they did before. You know what I'm saying? Not direct, the defensive line in general, just with a better edge rushing.
I understand what you're saying. I'll say this. I think Hoyt being able to move inside on pass rushing helps.
You could move him around.
Ogunjobi's at least a guy. I would disagree only because
TJ Sanders is going to
TJ Sanders isn't playing, and so is Daquan Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now if I had Oliver going down, my current starting defensive tackles are...
I did forget about Daquan
Deion
Jones.
Walker and Larry Ogunjobi.
Right. Who was just a
right,
guy,
and then who's behind those guys, and then maybe you get Daquan back.
Daquan will probably be back sooner,
hopefully. So I just I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot about Daquan Jones' injury.
I guess did you feel better when it was TJ Sanders in a second game, Deion Walker in a second game, Daquan Jones and a practice squad, or do you feel better now with a more seasoned Deion Walker, Larry Ogunjobi in his second game, practice squad?
Yeah, or Hoyt moving.
But Hoyt moving was the pass. So
I guess that kind of is a Band-Aid, I guess. You need
to get Daquan back. But
yeah.
Daquan Sanders in your return.
I think it's just the names available, I guess, with Hoyt in the conversation.
Sure.
I feel a little bit better about now. But either way, it's a big miss. It's a big miss for the Bills. But speaking, of a team that has been winning more than usual, the Buffalo Sabres. We gotta talk about them a little bit. They've got a game coming up later tonight. We're recording this on a Tuesday. But before we talk about the Sabres, we're going to take a quick time out for our sponsors. We'll be right back with more of the Buffalonian Podcast right after this. We are back with the Buffalonian Podcast for a Sabres discussion. They're 4-4-1, 4-1-1 in their last 6 games. Total turn on the season. Still think they could have been 5-1 on the season if they certain goaltender wasn't in net, but that's neither here nor there. Dom, what do you make of the Sabres' performance from our rant 2 weeks ago when they were 0-3 to a team that's 4-1-1 in their last 6? They kind of turned things around pretty big here.
I think I'm pleased. I think they need to continue to keep going. I think this division that they are in, I'll make this take. I think it's going to be easier for the Sabres to be the number 3 team in the Atlantic than the second wild card team.
Yeah.
I think the Atlantic is really bad.
The Atlantic this season,
and
that's something we talked about when we were riding high going into the season before the 3-game losses. The Atlantic is up for grabs in general. It's not as thick as it has been.
Florida, that's a funny way to say it. Florida is banged up with all their injuries. Boston, I think, down. Tampa's looked a little old.
Tampa does look old.
Ottawa's been pretty mid.
Yeah, Dylan Cousins just can't figure it out. I mean, he maybe a little bit recently, but he's not.
Montreal's been pretty good. Detroit was looking pretty good, but you handled them pretty well. I just think this is an opportunity. Toronto, again, I don't think they looked spectacular in the 2 games the Sabres played them. So
no.
I just think this is the this is a good opportunity for the Sabres. I think they're just playing. They can still do the rush. I think they've been better. They're like league average in 5-on-5 in the numbers. Their power play has been pretty solid. Their penalty kill has improved. Like, it's just it's a different team, right? Like, I think the team
feels different.
It's a interesting team. I think we've underrated maybe some of the fit moves that they made. Like, I think Josh Doan has been A+ fit.
Oh yeah.
I think we'll see a Kesserling having his debut, but Alex Lyon has been awesome. Like, that was a good move. I think the switching of the Connors, Connor Clifton to Connor Timmins has really
Timmins a lot.
And yeah, I think your credit is due. Like, Matthias Samuelsson has been really rock solid. And it's like, dude, if you could just play like this and be like a solid third pair defenseman, like, it looks like a lot of money, the 4.28, but really with the cap going up, like, that's a pretty fine contract for a third pair defenseman guy. So
yeah, Samuelsson, by the way, in the first game against Toronto, 2 goals.
I know.
Like, where did that come from?
But
crazy.
Yeah. So I got 3 things to consider this week about the Sabres.
Okay.
I try and hopefully do one forward group, one defense group, one goalie, but goalie could maybe eventually get hard because, like, well, that's what I'm really talking about. But Number 1, we'll start with defense first. The curious case of Bowen Byram.
Quite curious.
We talk about fit, and I think this is a player that just does not really fit with this team.
Round peg in a square hole.
Because he's making $6.25 million. Now, this is a player that we were like, he really only works with Dahlin, and even that's like super high event. And so far, through 9 games, I know they haven't been together the whole time, but it really hasn't worked between those 2 guys.
No, it has not.
And now it's like, what do you do with him? Like, where do you put him? Like, you have Kesselring back. It feels like you kind of acquired him for Owen Power to be the partner for Owen Power, but Power and Timmins have been really good. Like, Timmins has kind of helped out Power by being that, more in-zone defenseman with the physicality, the net front, allows Power to be kind of the defenseman that exits the zone and all that. Like, it's kind of like Kesselring, does he play with Dahlin? Like, that could work skill set wise. And then is it Samuelsson, Byram? Like,
you can see what happens there. You're going to have to
But then all of a sudden, though, if he doesn't play with Dahlin, and he's not going to play with Power because they don't fit together, and it seems, Timmins has played well, and it seems that they will carry Kesselring, so why would they put Byram with Power? Like, I guess that puts him to the third pair of Samuelsson, who's been solid. Like, that could work. Like, Samuelson's been playing well.
Yeah.
But it's like, am I really happy that I'm paying a guy making over $6 million?
That's exactly where I was going to go. You don't want to have him on the third line.
And then
You're
it's
not
like,
thrilled about that.
People see, man, like, GMs are going to see, like, why can't Bowen Byram stick on the first pair of a star defenseman like Dahlin?
Right.
And now it's like, what does that do for his trade value? So, again, like, it's just kind of like we talk about, again, the first thing was positive about fit, but like, the fit on this blue line of Byram was really shaky. And through 9 games, your one way to fit him on the blue line isn't working with Dahlin, and now it's like, I just don't know where you go.
Yeah, I don't either. And speaking, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how well Kesserling. I keep I forget what order the R and the L come in his name.
I think it's Kesserling.
Yeah, Kesserling. It'll be interesting to see how he fits. This blue line could get really good if he's good.
Solid.
Like, it could be very solid, more solid than it has been in recent years. Byram is just I thought they were trading him, like, that was the big thing. Elliot Friedman every week. Oh, Sabres are looking to move Byram. Like, they did not. They still have him. So if something works better, I'm sorry, you got to put the $6 million guy on the third line. Like, that's really what you have to do at this point. It's all about making the playoffs right now. You got to put that.
Well, yeah.
Got to put that aside.
But number 2, Sabres have been teams of past have been a one-line team, right? The Thompson Tuck Skinner line.
Oh, that line. Thinking back though, that was a line. That was some fun. That was some fun.
That was a lie.
You know it. That was
I
some
agree.
fun. Tage scoring the I forget what game it might have been against no, who is it? They scored the 4 goals in the first period.
Columbus.
It was against Columbus. Yeah, I wanted to say that. Yeah, it was against Columbus. Those were good times.
Yeah, that was a good line last year when you had the Kulik, Benson, Thompson line, and you have that now going again. But now it really feels like they have there's been moments where you felt like they had a second line, like when they had the kids line, Quinn, Cousins, and
for
Paterka.
30 seconds, it felt like they had a second line.
That season till that fell apart. Now we have to think of a good name.
Oh boy.
But we have the Josh Doan, Ryan McLeod, Alex Tuck line. And those 3 guys, I just think they fit together, right? Like
they do work.
Like Doan and McLeod, I don't know if I would classify them as second line players, but I would classify them as middle 6 players, and I think Tuck is a top 6 winger.
Absolutely.
And those 3 guys, I think they're solid defensively. They can skate, they can forecheck, and they can really have done a good job driving offense. And so I do have a name.
Okay. Go ahead, shoot.
TMDL line. The mother bleeping dog line.
Oh. I love it. The dogs. Who let the dogs out?
I just think those 3 guys. Now, I will say this about Tuck. Tuck playing like a contract year player, maybe not being as physical as he's been in year past. I know he took the fight, but like he's kind of like bailed out on some board play because it's like I don't really blame him.
I don't either, because if it works,
that's like the guy in training camp that doesn't want to get injured when he has a contract extension.
Exactly. Because if it works this season, he'll resign, I think. But if it doesn't, he's gonna go somewhere else and want to be healthy. So sure.
Having that line, I think, has been so awesome because you really have 2 lines going.
You have depth finally in your top 2 lines. You do.
You have Greenway coming back. Obviously, losing Josh Norris, whatever you think of it as how injured he is, like losing him is still valuable because you don't really have a third line, right? You're putting in Oslin. Zucker's been fine. Quinn's Quinn. A 4th line is a 4th line. Again, though, this is why I'm saying about the curious case of Bowen Byram is like if you added another middle 6 forward in a trade back with Bowen Byram, just feel like that could have been really useful for your third line right about now. With losing Josh Norris, I don't think you would have been as screwed as you were, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then number 3, the goalie one. 3 goalies equal blank. Like what are the 3 goalies equal? Like some people say 3 goalies means you have no goalies. I don't know.
I think you have at least one.
I think Lyon looked good.
Even Ellis was interesting in his start. He was injured. That's the only reason we saw UPL.
I mean, they refused to waive him because I think St. Louis is just
they're gonna nab him
again.
Yeah, it's over.
So
kind of run with him for a little bit.
I guess you just run with it's not like.
But you also can't.
I'll put it this way: it's not like there's someone in the press box that's like, dude, you're carrying 3 goalies to not have blank play. Like,
yeah,
I like. It's not like he's prohibiting a roster spot, but I again just don't really know what to make of it. I don't like. I think you have like you have depth, but it's like Ellis is still really. I mean, Ellis literally has 1 star in the NHL.
Yeah, he's green,
and Lyon has been awesome, but is more of like a 35 start guy than really a 50 start player. So like, what happens there when late in the season? UPL with the injuries and this inconsistency, it's like I don't really know what you have, and I think it's confusing.
He looked a little lost in the net.
At least the only good thing is it's like it makes Levi kind of just be like the AHL goalie of Georgiev, and it's like that's kind of where you want him to develop.
Yeah, give him. This will be the last year where he's just going to develop down there.
I don't know what to do. It's bizarre. UPL, they paid him he has 4 years up to 4.75, which again with the cap going up may not be the worst contract, but who's taking that on now?
No one. The only hope, and this is terrible.
He's got to bounce back. He's got to bounce back.
He's got to bounce back, or some starting goalie's got to get hurt somewhere. Then some other team's got to take a chance. That's literally it.
Or some or contender, like their goaltender either gets banged up or isn't playing well.
Yeah, you need a guy.
They need him to get. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like, I just he's a guy like Byram, Quinn, UPL. Like, I don't regret them keeping UPL. I won't put them in those two guys' category because it's like, how are they supposed to know that Alex Lyon was going to be this productive?
Right.
And how are they?
And he's not saving everything by any means, but he makes the big saves like when you need them.
The momentum saves.
Luukkonen, my coworker. This funny story about Luukkonen, and then I'll wrap it up. Luukkonen legitimately, he saw he was going in net. He bet the over on goals in the game because he knew
We gotta be careful with that.
He knew Luukkonen was going to be.
I dare to say a funny Luukkonen story would be that Dan Dunleavy was like, when it was 3-2 Buffalo, and he was like 18-20 on saves, and he was like, they're gonna need more saves from Luukkonen if they're gonna win this one.
Called it.
Toronto had 2 shots the rest of the way of the game, both goals,
both won it.
And I was like, yeah, he didn't make another save, but no. It's just something to look for, right? It's something to look for. What do they do with Bowen Byram? Does he play on the third pair?
Especially with Kesselring.
Yeah. Where does he do too? That's something to look at.
Yeah.
How does that juggle comparison? Can the second line, which has been like a top 10 line the entire NHL in terms of some of the advanced metrics, like, can he continue to play at a high level?
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
And the third goaltending, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess we'll see who plays. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We shall see. It's a tough thing to look at. Not really, though. Like, the goalies are one thing, but everything else pretty interesting here for the Bills and Sabres. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Buffalonian Podcast. I'm Joe Cali. We do have a tier list that we're going to drop tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that.
Good catch.
NFL tier list. Yeah, I had to remember that before we ended things here. It's going to be video only. That'll be on our YouTube channel at the Buffalonian Pod. You can just search up the Buffalonian Podcast on YouTube. I mean, if you're already watching on video, you're already there. So just be ready for it tomorrow. And we'll betting on the Bills be on Friday. Maybe some betting stuff earlier in the week, Thursday. I got to figure that out. Maybe we'll do something there. But it's a good time to be alive. The Bills, they won. They put up a big win. And the Sabres are looking up. Scary thing to say, but we'll see if that continues. But Dom, how do we always end these, buddy?
Go Bills, baby.
Go Bills.